slide usually, but here we can see the team lineups for our two teams.
There we go.
Isaac, Medivh, Legend, we were talking about it earlier. I appear to have accumulated an extra second somewhere, so I'm going to attempt to get back to where I was.
Okay. So, yeah, basically, you mentioned it. There is a couple of really interesting players on the side of Trogg. Another one that we want to talk about is Angel Wing, of course. Angel Wing, super scary in the backline there, next to Isaac sometimes. And we also have to mention a roster change in the lineup. They replaced their main tank, just like Didung did yesterday with H82, you know, filling in to increase their chances in that Crucible match. Fortunately, wasn't enough there. Let's see if Jackpot can make a difference replacing Aruga.
Exactly, Aruga, as his name actually spelled, was pretty interesting. But once again, being switched out for Jackbox that we have no information on, and then of course we have GLuck with Overlord, with Roxa, with Asgard, with some fantastic players.
Exactly. I mean, Team GLuck, they are definitely the slight favorite here, as every pro team should be when facing teams from the open division. But as we mentioned before, if there is a team to beat, then it is definitely GLuck here with, you know, a pretty sad record in the ongoing phase. And Trogg, since they were the winners of the Open Division Grand Finals, they chose their opponents. And you would have been a fool, actually, to willingly go up against Supernova, who looked so much better than GLuck. So definitely a smart decision for them to choose GLuck in the first place. Let's see if it actually backfires or if that was proves to be a small call indeed.
I mean, it could still be the right call, and it might still not be enough in this case. Due to the fact we already mentioned just how strong Supernova are compared to GLuck, which is why that was pretty rough for Didung. But right now, it's all up to Trogg to show that this was a wise decision and show that they are in fact ready for the HGC South Korean Pro Division.
And I'm pretty sure they had their thoughts because, as an old Hearthstone saying goes, Trogg not stupid. So let's see what they can pull off here.
Trogg roar.
And we mentioned this yesterday, right, Tetra? We just want to see what a Trogg logo in the HGC Pro Division would look like. Whether they just capture a Hearthstone card and screenshot it, or that would be amazing anyways.
Assets, would they be allowed to do that?
Maybe.
I assume they would.
I'm pretty sure cross-promotion between different Blizzard franchises is okay.
I'd hope so. We could ask it. Well predicted in the team interview, Isaac's Medivh gets immediately removed. It is undefeated, apparently, according to the interviews in the Open Division. And GLuck, they don't want to play against it.
Yeah, they actually highlighted that themselves. I mean, Medivh is such an uncomfortable opponent to play against, especially when the enemy team knows what they're doing. We've had, you know, teams very capable at using Medivh in many different regions, right? Just remember the legendary method, Time of Terror, Reign of Terror with IDRD playing Medivh every now and then, and ever so successfully.
Just quickly, because I've had to resync, but I've lost my live latency again. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16.
I think that is actually really good. Maybe a half a second or something, but nothing.
Half a second more on my side?
Like, I think I'm half a second ahead, but nothing really major. So just one quick pause, probably boom.
It go back to the beginning. Cool. So, Yrel and Maiev. This is so similar to how the draft started against Didung, where Trogg took out a huge lead, where because they have that Medivh as a forced ban, they seem to get these huge priority picks like the Maiev more consistently than other teams.
Yeah, that is a really good point you bring up there. When you have this pocket hero that you can always rely on getting banned, like that Medivh, something else remains open naturally, and in this case, it was the Maiev. We're playing on Battlefield of Eternity, by the way. That is our first battleground. Sky Temple and Infernal Shrines are banned out, so these are the only two maps we're definitely not going to see today. Everything else is pretty much open. If we go the full distance, if we go into the 7 games, then we're going to see all the other maps that are available.
Which, of course, we did see during the European Crucible.
Oh, yes.
During our second series between the Holy Bananas and Roll20 Esports, going all the way to a Game 7, seeing every map in the pool. And it came down to a couple of those more macro-forced map choices that gave Roll20 a bit of an advantage. And this is the situation. If you have a preferred playstyle, like if you're more of a team fighter style that Trogs have said they are, you're going to want to try and avoid those larger maps if you can. Unfortunately, they're already being forced onto one.
All right, and I once again have to give a lot of credit to the production crew there making these interviews happen with the Open Division teams, and I think... Yeah. So, go ahead.
Just really, I misheard. It's not one of the larger maps. It's
one of the smaller ones.
So this is definitely a Trogg-focused map, which is why they picked it.
Absolutely. But to the point I was trying to make there, this interview in particular was really insightful, right? The players talking a little bit about their past, how the team got together in the first place, and especially, I'm not sure if it was Angel Wing or Isaac, but themselves mentioning that practice is a little bit of a weak point for them. I wonder how prepared they are going into this most important match that they had to play all year long.
We're going to be finding out. For now, though, GLuck finishing up with a Teriel, potentially a low CC draft, trying to hold the line for that Hanzo and the Phoenix here. They can, of course, go into Judgment, but right now, their main source of crowd control comes from Dragon Arrow and Blaze.
Yeah, that Greymane last pick is very interesting. A Raynor is still available, and normally Raynor is that counterpart that you want to have ready against that Hanzo, because Raynor is oftentimes considered to be the second best PvE clearing character against the Immortal. So going for the Greymane instead also could lead to a very aggressive playstyle, right? You have that Anubarak diving in, Maiev and Greymane following it up on the same target, so a very pick-heavy comp for the Trogs.
And they even have the Containment Disc Cocoon combo.
Yeah.
So isolating two people, bursting onto another. There's so much potential here for just quick blow-ups, which might be why we see that Tyrael extra attempt at a protection with that Sanctification.
Yeah, that is very true. And like cutting down this cocoon and protecting people inside the containment disc, it's going to be so important for Team GLuck here. It's probably not the first time they played against this style, but it's so tricky sometimes to protect someone in time when there's no cleanse available, when there's only a Tyrael. But ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the two teams now being deployed to Battlefield of Eternity. On the left-hand side in the blues, we see Team Trogg, the Open Division champions, and we see Team GLuck from the Pro Division on the right-hand side, clad in red.
And of course, we already talked about this before, but Trogg weren't even in the top 2 of the Korean the Korean Open Division. They managed to fight their way up. In fact, they were 4th all the way from the point. Goodbye, Overlord. Oh no, good teleport just in time. CC runs out. But yeah, they were number 4 in the Korean Open Division, and still were able to not only fight their way into the playoffs and then the Crucible, but in first place over the team in 3rd place, Didong, who also qualified. Neither the first or second seed actually qualified.
All right, Maiev getting a really good tether in there, but look at Angel Wing now in trouble already. The early game healing for Wishing on that Whitemane is not really the best. Whitemane comes online after level 4 when she has the High Inquisitor ready, when she can get her mana back, and since Whitemane had to use so many resources just to keeping Greymane alive, she's already out of mana and already has to use the Healing Fountain.
Which, if you're going to use the Healing Fountain, it makes sense to use it in the first couple seconds of the match, of course, because that's going to give you a better opportunity to get kills later on. Not even with Whitemane, they're able to just dive in with the Yrel. Nice job using that burst that Greymane offers, even from level 1.
Yeah, that was a really cool, surprising rotation coming in from the Trogs there as well. First applying a lot of pressure in the top lane, then immediately rotating down to the bottom, ganking that solo laner, ganking Blaze, who's by no means an easy target to kill, but when you have an Anubarak with those double stuns, and of course the Beetles to absorb the tower shots early so you can dive really deep, you can secure those kills like it was a piece of cake.
So we see GLuck trying to rotate with assistance, just in case they get dove by Isaac on that Anubarak here. Remember, Isaac is actually the usually the flex player for the team, but in this case, the replacement is going to Jackpot is running the solo laner for the team.
That is very true. So the melee flex, the melee solo laner, now switching roles with the new kid on the block, if you will, Jackpot.
They sort of ran with double solo laners, to be fair. Like they ran like they always swapped out Aruga and Isaac. Even Cyber Sportsman, who in this case is called Siceman due to having a shortened name. Even he took up a solo laner from time to time. In this case, you can see he's on the melee in the form of Yrel. He did also pick up like the Genjis, the Maiev. He is their carry player mostly, as long as it's not the main ranged assassin.
Yeah, if you think about it, they're very melee heavy, not just in terms of heroes, but also in terms of personal preference. It seems even Angel Wing is playing on the Greymane, and that is basically half a melee hero if he's in Worgen form. So Very cool, very aggressive style coming in from the Trogs, as the name might suggest, because Trog's not necessarily the most peaceful of creatures in the Warcraft universe.
Absolutely. I mean, if you look at some of the heroes they played during the playoffs, we've got Arthur's in there as they are battling back and forth here. Nice route from Deckard, but Roxa has dove way too deep. He's going to escape, though.
He's going to escape, and he needs to go back immediately. Maybe the fountain is available. Maybe he needs to go back to base altogether. The potions are there as well. The shields are good, but not enough to reach MSG. And he goes down on the blaze yet again. 0-2 for him.
And Overlord down as well. No clutch shields from Tyrael. Speed boost is used, and he is able to get out. Nice escape, but with MSG down for the second time this game. Right now, Trogg beginning to pile on this pressure. Like you said, they're making the best use of their quick engagements, and that lockdown, that lack of immediate burst healing from Deckard is starting to show here. He does now have shielding potions, so that will be mitigated a little.
Isaac needs to stay away from the enemy heroes here. He's getting quickly outnumbered, but look at the nice lead that Trogg has now on the Immortal. Against a team that has Hanzo in their arsenal, and Phoenix too, that is not always an easy thing to do. So let's see how hard GLuck is going to defend this here. They're already behind. Myson is doing what Hanzo does best. He tries to deliver those scatter shots in. No level 7 though, which means no cooldown reduction on the scatter shot. Nice knockback into the stun there. Overlord is in so much trouble.
Overlord is just absolute luckfest this game, able to escape by the skin of his teeth so many times. Roxa might not be so lucky. Shielding potion keeps him alive. Nice job by KCB.
Wow, Seismic going in with reset after reset, and Deckard Cain is running out of potions. He can only keep one target alive at the same time, and unfortunately for Tyrael, that target was prioritized. That was Phoenix. So, man, what an onslaught from the Trogs, showing no signs of respect here against the Pro Division team. Myson now running out of mana there as well. Angel Wing is trying to finish this Immortal all by himself, while the rest of his team keeps the enemies at bay, and I think they're going to get this first Immortal of the game.
You can see, though, that little bit of open division, aggressive play, trying to chase down those heroes. And you see that little bit of professional experience coming in for GLuck there with Myson, realizing his team was in danger, immediately rushing the Immortal to burn through as much of that shield as possible. Wishing gets locked down and taken out. His Scytheman also taken down. Jackpot looking for the counter kill, but the slows from Blaze shut him down.
Wow, and it is as aggressive as the lineup of Team Trogg is, as elusive is the one of Team GLuck, if you think about it. Phoenix, Tyrael, those have blings in their repertoire. Then we have Hanzo, who always seems to have this this natural agility ready to jump over the wall to safety here. So, good pickup here by Trogg. I mean, getting that first Immortal is definitely better than losing it, but it came with a little bit of a price there as well, losing 2 members in the process.
You see them pulling back a bit here, just burning through as much of this as the Immortal as possible. It doesn't even get that much fort damage, just through the front wall, which was already weakened. With that, GLuck even up the XP. They're still a tiny bit behind, but that's still a big comeback, able to pick up those kills.
Yeah, super cool to see how Team Trogg is just relentlessly aggressing here into this first game of the day. You could see during the interview video, right? Practice, they were a little bit worried about that. They didn't have as many games as they would like to really prepare to this, but it doesn't show. They look like a solid 5-man unit right now, always on the same page, still having that half-level lead that they so want to keep here for that level 10, so they get it first.
Again, though, they have to start paying attention to the map, not just chasing the kills. We already talked about it. Hanzo burning the Immortal while they chase down. And what did they get out of it? They lost 2 members and didn't even get the full front wall. 1 tower still surviving. They've got to play the map a little more, at least until level 10, where once they get Containment Disc Cocoon combo, they're going to be able to basically make any fight they want. In fact, they're diving for Overlord here, and they will pick him up. Oh my god, he's invincible!
That is incredible. Overlord has escaped so many certain deaths where we saw Phoenix dead already, and it's all because of Deckard Cain. It's all because of KCB here, really doing so much work. The potions are so good. They replenish shields on that Phoenix, of course, as well, and they have low cooldown too. So, yeah, there's a couple of heroes, like that Phoenix, like that Sergeant Hammer, that benefits so heavily of those low cooldown, heals coming in from Deckard Cain, and Phoenix is one of them. It's just, like, Trogg is good right now. They still have a little bit of a lead. They're still fine. They just need to make sure that this aggression that they show, which gave them this first Immortal, that they don't overdo it. Sometimes, falling back, playing it a little more patiently, sometimes waiting for level 10, fares better than going for the same aggressive plays over and over.
Main also needs to be careful of her position.
Exactly.
She's been called out twice now in these fights, and with that, GLuck have a kill lead. They're also going to be able to pick up a slight Immortal lead at the start here. But are they going to be able to finish the job? They're going to wrap around. They spot Urel, but they can't really do anything to her. They're just going to use the time instead to burn through that Fallen Shaman camp.
And as you said during the draft, Tetra, we see the double isolation play here with Containment Disc and Cocoon. Now, they could go for two routes here. They could isolate the same target twice in a row, or they can isolate two different targets, preferably the support and Tyrael, so they can use their defensive measures, because Sanctification is here, Decker Kane with that Lornado as well.
The Lornado did get 2 knockbacks onto Jackpot, but it was cast from too far back. Wasn't able to get a good choke point. Urel was able to just walk around the side. Isaac attempting to zone, but Myson is causing so much havoc in this backline, trying to deal with the Immortal, and also dealing some decent poke damage to Isaac, who's trying to defend.
Yeah, I like the positioning, though, by Isaac as well. He's trying to anticipate where Myson on the Hanzo is going to shoot his scatter shots from. So he's trying to intercept as many of those as he can so they don't land on the Immortal and they don't deal that terrible PvE damage onto it.
Tyrael with a bit of Eldrin's Might as well for a bit of poke. MSG, who is, by the way, Asgard, gets tethered in, but Lornado, quick disengage. Overlord, though, has gone super deep. This time, he's not so lucky.
This time he ran out of fortune indeed. The bunker was too far away, and the tether on Maiev was golden as well, but how quickly can they turn this around? Hanzo is still on it. Myson will deliver another shot, but it's not enough. With the combined efforts of Maiev and Greymane, they brute force that second Trogg Immortal.
They don't pick up the kill onto Tyrael, though. They were looking for Roxa, but the Containment Disc came out too early with the bunker still alive, and as such, Tyrael was able to back out. However, Immortal coming in for the Trogs, and they're going to push in and grab their second fort of the game.
That they will certainly achieve. The fort is already weakened. The team members have assembled on the side of Team Trogg here as well. So they're going to make... they're going to bring this down very quickly. Immortal is now in melee mode there as well. And, you know, GLuck, they should defend this at the keep. If they get caught here by an Anub'arak or an Urel flank, which Jackpot was trying to make work, that could have been very dangerous. Bunker is still on cooldown.
Containment Disc is off cooldown, however. So like you said, they have that burst. Oh, look at those swipes coming in, doing so much damage as Urel and the Maiev here are doing a crazy amount of... Oh my god, Overlord just gets destroyed. The Dragon Arrow comes in for maybe a counterplay. Sanctification keeps Roxa alive for the moment. Can they make anything happen from this? So they need to release Deckard Cain to have a decent chance in this, but they can't do so. It's already too late. Trogg have retreated.
Reinitiation! Tyrael has nothing
God.
left to protect himself with, and the Scarlet Aegis keeping everyone protected after going in. So well played by Team Trogg. And Tetra, in that team fight before, did you see how well they coordinated that? The support, Deckard Cain, was wrapped in a cocoon, and then they exploded Overlord, interrupting the teleport over and over again.
They did, and as such, he was killed off, and yet, even after they released Deckard, for some reason, GLuck chased with a almost no CC comp. I really don't understand that play. You know the kind of composition your opponent has. You've used Sank. I'm kind of upset about that counter engage. You were even a talent behind. There's so many things wrong with that play.
Yeah, and there was no need to even go for this all-in play, right? Because the keep is still standing. It was barely touched. It is too early to panic for Team GLuck. Nothing has been decided really true. They took a couple of blows in the early game here, losing 2 Immortals in a row, but as long as the keeps are standing, you have time to catch up, and 13 is not miles away. It's actually right around the corner, so a little bit of temper, a little bit of patience I want to see from Team GLuck. They cannot afford to panic here against a very calm and collectively playing Team Trogg here. Also, big kudos to Greymane. I think his timing, his execution, his burst damage potential is just through the roof right now.
Isaac's hovering around the area, seeing if he wants to dive in. Siceman also decides not to go in as well. He's going to pull back. And they're going to let this one go. Immediate immortal damage, though. They have the much better positioning. They know where their opponents are. They feel comfortable fighting onto the opponent's immortal because they have the preemptive positioning on it.
All right, here we go. This time it could be a much more healthy Immortal if Team GLuck can't do anything to stop Trogs from taking it. By the way, I just noticed that Team GLuck has a couple of heroes that have very big hitboxes, right? Like that Blaze, like that Phoenix. So Maiev has a really good time right now finding these resets over and over again.
Fair point indeed as they begin to creep forward. Sank drops very early, trying to react to the Lordnado here. Salvo comes out, does hit everyone, and a big blow up onto Whitemane.
That was a grand Dragon's Arrow here, really securing the kill, paving the way. Phoenix now the Cocoon still. Isaac is going to die here absolutely soon. Keeps himself alive for a little bit longer, but they take the objective, almost a 50% shield immortal, but they lost so many heroes in the process. Remains to be seen if that was worth it. Make it 4.
I think that was an attempted juke, but it did not work out. Unfortunately, Phoenix did not play with the vision. Instead, just walked past and zapped him to death. Either way, that's going to be a quadruple kill for GLuck. But that's yet another immortal. Myson, you can see him positioning himself next to some walls to get that maximum scatter arrow value.
Okay, he's trying to deliver as many deadly arrows as he possibly can here. Myson, that is. This one misses a little bit here. So there were 2 reasons why Team Trogg didn't back off. First of all, they wanted to secure that objective. If they back down, if they back off to heal, Hanzo is going to kill it in no time. Also, that bottom keep took so much damage because mercenaries were pushing in relentlessly, so they wanted to prevent GLuck from sending someone back at any given cost. So, tactical feeding, I would call it at best. It had some value. They got the objective. They're probably going to get this keep soon as well. It came at the cost of experience, though. GLuck, in that regard, is definitely back in the game.
And right now, they are not stopping. They're trying to chase down, this time with all 5 members moving forward. Maiev decided not to Spirit of Vengeance in. And it looks like Trogg are just going to retreat, despite GLuck just itching for a fight.
They're itching for a fight. They're trying to get that kill here after that cheeky maneuver by the Troggs. They were able to get that keep, by the way, at the bottom. So catapults are now unleashed for the Angelic side. Really cool to see. Cocoon once again dropped on the backline. Blaze used the bunker immediately. Can they find a pick?
The Lordnado giving Blaze a chance to escape. MSG pulling back, but Hanzo is in the containment disc. Can they react to this? They've already killed off Blaze, turning it onto KCB here. He goes down as well, and they continue the chase. Can they chase down Roxy? They've already used Burrow Charge. It's on cooldown, and it looks like the rest of GLuck will escape, but that was a gorgeous double kill.
Tetra, they're going for the core. No support means no health to be restored for Team GLuck. No bunker either. They are lacking crucial heroes to defend this core, and the Troggs, they're going face. Trogg, no stupid. Trogg smash on the core. It falls very fast.
There's nothing they can do. Dragon Arrow will only delay, but the health bars are far too high. Whitemane with plenty of heroes to heal off of, and that is going to be game number 1, going over to